everyone. Welcome back. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to the third episode of Shades of Tartarus. Um, let's just jump into this and let everyone introduce themselves. I think everyone's in their right frames according to OBS. Yes, and answer those awkward questions that our GM wants us to answer. So that's icebreakers for everyone. So Obi, go ahead and kick us off, fam.
All right. Yeah, welcome. It's I, Obadiah, your GM and mech master of the day. And for awkward questions, I would like to know what themed mask would your characters wear in the terrible, no good, awful space pandemic that they've been stuck in? Because I am going to take it for granted you're responsible citizens of the galaxy and would wear your masks.
It's too real, bro.
Who's starting? I think I
You
started
are. Yep.
first last time. Hi. Hello, everybody. I am everybody's favorite robot clown for your entertainment, Nathan Blades. It's a pleasure to see you on this channel once again. I play Julian Tablanet, a professional con artist and recent prison escapee. My mech is Jackpot, a wiry robot with blades for feet and moves via dancing. What kind of mask would I wear in the space pandemic, you say? Well, I suppose I would probably be using my proso collar, which can project faces upon thine own, to mimic the lower jaw of somebody else behind a plain mask. After all, masks are disguises in many different ways. That's me for now.
Hey everybody, I'm Anna or Nomiria. I am going to be playing Ariadne today, who is our sniper that rides around in a mech called Baba Yaga, because it's basically just a giant house for a person on robot chicken legs, which is fun. If she was wearing a themed mask during the pandemic, it would probably be one of the ones that says, like, if you can read this, you're in melee range, but then, that would be the last thing that you would see, is because you got too close.
Sup, y'all? It's me, your boy Wally. I go by he, him pronouns, and I am playing Xavier Browning, pilot of the Harkin, a big boy assault mech that is very good at dishing out hand-to-hand combat with powerful weapons. Oh, man. Wearing a mask during this pandemic. Yeah, you're supposed to wear a mask in the pandemic. You got to keep people safe, and it's also a sign of respect and honor around people. Just walking up to someone with no mask when people are just coughing in people's faces, that's just rude. It's impolite. Personally, I think when it comes to a mask is supposed to represent of one's own aesthetic. So I just figure a nice, plain, simple black mask would be fine for me. Don't like to draw too much attention to myself.
Hey everybody, Pope here, Pope World Builder on Twitter, Pope World Builder on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams. I get to play S. August Marlowe. Both of us use he, him pronouns, and he pilots the Beast of Burden, also known as Bob. And as for masks, um, Marlowe's kitschy and has a bit of a sense of humor. So it's going to be a Wayland Utani mask that he will be wearing in the far-flung future.
Hi, I put cheese in my mouth as I'm supposed to talk. Hi everyone. I'm Val. This is my channel. I play games. Um, Today I bring to you Nevaeh Russo, who is an engineer mech girl who enjoys her little mech Eclair, who she can't sit in her chair properly. Let's just put it that way. And as far as masks go, like clearly she has a Louis Vuitton silky mask that she might have gotten secondhand, but nobody's dishing thrifting. So that's what Nevaeh wears. She's got to make a fashion statement. And hey, speaking of fashion statements and things like that, if you actually want a space pandemic to happen in our world, you can make that happen, kinda, sorta. But this is a viewer affected game with all of our bits, subs, and donations. Every 100 biddies gives us rerolls. Every subscription can give us a critical success, and or you can add an accuracy dice as well, which is also very important. And if you just donate money, sliding scale of money, of amounts of money is donated, you can just make shit happen. To the viewer Dungeon Master, Game Master discretion, of course, we will never allow anything on this channel that crosses any lines or veils that are cast and the showrunners have laid before us. Now, without further ado, please make me stop talking. Obi, go.
Oh, so, when last we left, you had all just pulled into station 68369, one of the less than legal hubs out on the galactic frontier, having received a hot tip uh, secondhand by way of Smokey, the old reliable rumormonger of what once was Carter 616, the prison asteroid you had until very recently been variably justly interned upon. And so, you've been let off, you've had your only mildly unpleasant run in with the Alexandros current, uh, say, primary pirate overlords of the station. And yeah, you've got free time. Some might even call it down time. And you've got a station before you. Last you heard from Smokey, a couple of the prisoners that are more local here. They've also gotten off to try and reconnect with some of their people, figure something out. You think they'll get back to you probably in a couple of days, as long as they don't get in any trouble. It'll probably be fine. You know, it's not really your problem, at least not yet. So, what is doing on this station?
I would like to get focused using some of the mechanics from Lancer. You have these wonderful downtime actions. And the one that immediately just went, yes, is get focused, which allows you to spend some time practicing something and to increase your skill or gain some skill in said pursuit. And now that he has access to, people and isn't in prison, is going to spend some time just trying to, with whatever materials he can cobble together, work on drafting, doing a little bit of inventing, tooling around, just trying to, maybe make like a nice little desk toy is the best thing I can describe.
Okay, so I guess you're gonna spending a
So
a lot of time up on the ship, occasionally dipping off to grab some supplies here and there, and yeah, I guess I would say one thing you perhaps notice during this time, and of course, sounds like you're going to be adding a +2 to one of your pre-existing triggers rather than getting a new one. So please do that. And one thing you do notice, like, kind of as you're occasionally like going out to grab whatever supplies or tools you need to do this or that, the station is for all that the Alexandro seems to dominate. You see like plenty of other people who are definitely like openly affiliated with other gangs, like making their way around. Does it seem like the thing to do here, the culture, as it were, is the Alexandros may be in control, but they don't dominate, and it doesn't seem like it's their style to try and force everyone who isn't with them out, just as long as they don't make trouble. And you don't see a lot of that yet. Maybe it's just where you're looking.
Fair enough.
Oh,
If that is all Marlo wants to do for now, I kind of wanted to make a request to have a scene with Ariadne. Because
totally.
I don't think Julian and Ari have talked much yet, and I think this present context where we're now like, oh, there's a degree of freedom, and I think we both have people that we want to go connect with.
Yeah.
Just to check if there is a downtime action that you wanted to do, I'm happy to kind of work what scene we do that leads towards the action that you want to take. So do you have like one in mind?
Yeah, so like my goal was to go and like gather information because I want to see if I can contact anybody from my saboteur cell now that I'm out. Seeing as, having a mole on the inside is the whole reason why I ended up in Tartarus in the first place. So I would very much like to find out who that is, what we're going to do about that.
In a kind of reflected note, I think Julian wants to eventually, at some point in this downtime, do a get connected with the intent to kind of like, oh, well, I have a gang that I rolled deep with previously. Let's see if I can kind of start the spider's web of connections back up again to loop myself back into that. And I think both of those plans interweave a little
yes, they do very nicely.
So,
okay, so what I'm going to say is to try and like make that interweaving work good and proper. I'm going to say first off, like, yeah, each of you do have roles to make. What I will say is, if you want to like kind of make it all work together, you can each take an accuracy on your roles, like, kind of reflecting like the fact that you're combining your efforts, as it were. But like, whatever consequences each of you roll up individually, you will both
put on the other person.
I mean, I'm okay with that because I think that that's more interesting. But yeah.
Oh, just to check. So before I decide to go off on like diving into character, are we kind of just doing downtime to resolve roles, or are there kind of dialogue scenes that go with? Because I want to have a conversation.
Yeah.
I do have some stuff planned. Like, don't worry. This is not going to be numbers and this isn't going to be all numbers here. We got stuff doing.
Cool. Shall we make the roll and then work out what kind of conversation we have on the other side, depending on how those numbers go?
Yes, going to be rough.
Sick. Name your contact and roll. I have to name a contact. I'll let you go first while I work out what the name of this NPC is.
So I'm gathering information, investigate, do research, follow up on a mystery, track a target, or keep an eye on something.
Absolutely.
So, thinking this is a word on the street roll for me.
Sure.
So D20. Where's the D6? There it is. +2. So 19 total.
You found what you're looking for, and what you're looking for is a person with an turns out to be a person with a name. But before I tell you that, choose one. You leave clear evidence of your rummaging, or you have to dispatch someone or implicate someone innocent to avoid attention. Julian, I will also need you to choose one of those as well.
Let me look at these options.
I'm gonna dispatch or implicate someone innocent.
I, on the other hand, am happy to leave some clear evidence of rummaging.
All right. Okay. Let me shake this. I think what I'm gonna say is like kind of part one of this layered check here. So first up, Ariadne, you learn of. Did I didn't pull them up. Let me go digging real quick because I put this name up last night and I need to find where. You find Ray Quad. You actually are able to get into a little bit of contact with him. You remember him as often he would be your getaway driver, pilot, every maybe your drone runner. The point is, he got you in, he got you out. Whenever you saw him, you always saw helmets, hats, sunglasses. Like you got more than a good enough look at his kind of like wiry build to wiry build and presentation, and didn't
Yeah.
really go to any of this guy's voice, so you could recognize him. But
could you just do me a favor and throw the
yes.
name in the chat?
Sure. Let me in fact
Thanks.
slap it in Twitch chat so everybody can get familiar with it. And
Okay.
you know where he's staying, and and in fact, like enough to know that you can get a meeting.
Okay.
But you get into a little bit of a something with what you might call an over concerned friend who you don't really know what they think is going on, and you don't bother to find out because when they try to like corner you in an alleyway and warn you off talking to them, like you see them reaching into their pocket for something or other, you don't give them time to show you whatever it was, because you're not about to take those kinds of risks, not in a station like this.
Yeah.
You're faster, you draw, you fight. They drop, and you're gone. If you bother to take a glance back, you see like a communicator like halfway out. You think they're probably gonna try and call somebody. You don't know who, and they're not doing it now anyway, so it's not a problem.
Yeah.
Julian.
Oh well, life sucks, then you die.
You're fast on the draw, Ariadne.
Yeah. Like to try and leave as little trace as possible that it was me who was there. Doesn't always mean leaving no trace, but
Understandable. What do you want to do with their comms device? It may have useful information on it.
I was going to say that's probably more of your or Marlowe's department than it is mine, but sure, why not? And I'll we can take their comms, but I want to try and like turn it off. So that we're essentially not doing Lancer version of being tracked by a Wi-Fi signal.
Oh yeah, I was going to suggest that either because I leave evidence behind as how I've chosen the outcome of the role. That either Julian takes it and is now being, unbeknownst to her, GPS tracked, or upon leaving the scene, she steps in this dude's pool of blood, and now there is like forensic evidence on her Louboutin ass shoes. They're not Louboutins, I know. We've just escaped from prison.
That's just
they could
sloppy.
They could be from the 3D printer.
After I got the faux leather down to make this hat, we can definitely make you good shoes.
I mean,
I'd
like to have at least a stylish boot at minimum.
One boot.
Yes, I do like the idea of both Ari and Julian just kind of being like, okay, we're gonna leave no trace. I leave behind a dead body, and then I'm like, I don't know how technology works that well, and so you have like the GPS.
Yeah, we're smart. We're very smart.
And then we end up leaving like this bright, shining beacon of evidence.
I think, and like, forgive me if like kind of like over, but I think what happens is like after you kind of have like your exchange, you decide to like take this phone for like to take this communicator, see if maybe you can get something useful out of it later.
Yeah.
Now you're used to like needing to get away from violence at speed, and you do so. Julian, you lag behind a little bit, like trying to make sure that this phone, like trying to make sure that this communicator isn't like transmitting right now. And as you come out, like you make like direct eye contact with it looks like a gang, like some kind of gangster, like lounging on this corner, and like they lean over and see that body, like look back to you, and like they don't like move to get up or anything. You don't it doesn't seem like urgent, but like 100%, you have been marked. You like a connection has been made. You have been recognized.
Well, it seems we've already made a starting impression in this town.
But I do remember there was another role to make. You said you wanted to get connected, yeah?
Yes, please. I would love to get connected. As it so happens, there is a point of contact that I know that lives in this particular area of the travelable star system. One Alto Andromeda, who is a private detective. Previous cons that me and my crew have done in the past do require a decent amount of criminal research and also inside information about what the local police are doing. Back in the day, Alto did have her home base on a string of numbers, 63869.
68369.
683. I wrote this down wrong. Okay. 68369, yes. Last I recall, she did have a personal abode here. I do wonder if she is available for a house call.
Well, that's a question that dice do need to be answering so slowly.
Fantastic. Do I get to add my proficiency to the roll, or is it just a flat 1d20?
You get the accuracy too, because we're working together. So you add a d6. Yeah, that's the only reason that I rolled as well as I did. My d20 was mediocre, and then I got a 6 on the d6.
An incidental thing I forgot to mention earlier, but you do have a point of grit now, and for pilot skill checks, you always add your grit on top of whatever.
So it would have been a 20, but
1 grit.
20 actually does. A 20 actually does change things because it means I don't get to apply consequence. So here's what I will say instead. You have that and you kind of to rewind time a little bit. You kind of like blink in slow motion, as you see them reaching for their pocket, and you kind of. And instead of doing what you were going to do, which was just to draw, shoot, and book, instead you draw and you put the gun on, they flinch, they freak, but like you don't pull the trigger, and after like a little bit of talking, like you like decide that like since they seem to be like you decide that like after they kind of reveal that like they were about to call Trey to warn them about you, like you go back and forth a little bit. They realize that Trey's talked about you before, and like not in the sort of way that he tends to talk about his past. They realize you're probably safe. You both relax. It kind of like everything's fine.
Cool.
Sure, yeah, you still see that gangster like leaning against the street corner, but like he saw three people go in, he sees three people come out. It doesn't look like anybody, and it doesn't look like anybody's even mugged. So he
Cool.
kind of like he kind of looks away and like clearly forgets about all of you more or less immediately.
Mhm.
Just had a very tense encounter that could have gone that way, but that's not how it happened.
That's not how it happened.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Nice.
Somebody had
Okay.
like one of those Sherlock Holmes, like, it could have happened this way if I did
Yeah.
the wrong action, but this actually happened. Like,
Mhm.
So thanks for mentioning that because I didn't realize I also got to add in my grit. So
Yeah,
I will
man, I
remember
forgot about
that.
grit as a system.
Yeah. It's a
Grit
learn to
is
play
your
stream.
Mhm. But we'll
Mhm.
know for next time now, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So I am making my 1d20 roll +1 because I have one grit, plus 1d6 because I am being assisted by the fabulous Ariadne.
Mhm.
D20 +1 d6. 19. So close. So close.
Okay. Uh, Alto is willing to help, but they're going to need they're going to need you to do a favor for them later.
Cool. I'm happy to have a convo with
And
Alto about that. It's
Alto is like if you like try to when you try to get them to elaborate,
hmm,
suspiciously cagey, which
well,
perhaps it's something you're used to, especially from a private detective working with a modestly known criminal.
mhm.
Isn't a good sign, but that's that's what you get.
Hmm. I know you're one to be a little bit noir and mysterious, Andromeda, but this is climbing up even a little for you. Just how much has changed while I was away, anyway?
Oh, I don't know how long it's been for you, FTL being what it is, but 13 months is a long time, and I've got problems now.
Hmm. I see. Well,
And if you
I
want me
know
to be
that.
solutions for you, I'm going to need you to make some of them go away.
Go away. Well, being a my role within the crew wasn't to be a cleaner, but if I can figure out a unique situation that aids both of us, I'm more than willing to put in the work. It has been a long time since I mm, last took somebody for all they were worth. Maybe this will be a fun warm-up exercise.
Here's hoping. And you see, like one of Alto's like signature the Alto like one of the things Alto did like when they were young was they got their teeth sharpened. Uh, it's
Hell yeah.
it's kind of a unique effect. You feel like you feel like whoever that person was, they have relaxed a lot since, but
Mm-hmm.
they absolutely never like they have maintained the sharpness of those teeth, and yeah, their smile and it makes their smiles seem just a little bit extra threatening because they always smile with teeth,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the smile you see now that promises a little bit of danger,
It's a pleasure to work with you again, Andromeda.
as always.
Mm-hmm. Farewell. I'm sure we'll be in touch real soon. Oh, I suppose you'll need my new contact address. Do we? I guess inside our mechs we have comms because we were able to speak to each other.
Sure, of course.
Do for sake of this being the future and the idea of not being able to contact each other over long distances feels a little silly. Do we all have comm links? Like I can be emailed
Yeah.
by.
It is assumed that like you are definitely capable of, you know, you have your space cell phone on you more or less at all times. It does
Oh,
not
yeah.
need to be a physical object.
I feel like
Well,
also Harkin, like Marlowe may have tried to encrypt them too. If he,
Yeah, that's up to him.
That if you want them encrypted, that's going to take me some time. Also, I'm going to need access to some software. Not a lot, but if you want COM encryption, that's entirely different than what you're typically dealing with mechs and.
But just for
ship.
now, I mean, as long as we're not
yeah,
saying anything that we shouldn't want anyone to overhear anyway,
Yeah.
we should be fine.
No, if you need to communicate via an encrypted channel, you can hop into the cockpit of one of your mechs on the ship, or you can use the comms in your hard suits.
Okay.
That has at least basic layer of encryption, but your personal comms, I'm gonna need time to actually program something.
Oh yes. Speaking of hard suits, you've seen a few people in them walking around the station. Seemingly, it's like nobody's giving them like a second glance. It seems to be a now perhaps a little bit obnoxious of a thing to do because hard suits do take up a lot of physical space. But doesn't seem like anybody like finds the implicit statement of a hard suit particularly concerning or outrageous.
Either way, I guess to tie up that scene real quick, I guess in this case then, with that lore established, Julian kind of taps the gem-studded earring that she's got. You can still hit me on the regular contact address, Andromeda, although you might want to do that soon before I change the number. Ta-ta for now. And she click-clacks. Even though it's like space boots or whatever, I still want them to click-clack like heels. It's space, we can do what we want. She click-clacks out of the office.
Yeah, and as Julian leaves, Ariadne, you receive a ping on your own communicator, and yes, that includes you too. They will need yours because you are sharing in these consequences.
I'm sorry, could you say that again? I'm having trouble.
Yeah, Ariadne, I will have need of your skills as well. And to be mechanically clear,
that's fair.
Both of you owe her a favor.
Okay.
And but to continue on a bit, Ariadne, I assume you want to actually go talk to Trey. Yes?
You want me to actually go and do what?
Oh, do you actually want to talk to Trey? Since you do know he's
yes,
here?
I do.
Very good. Won't you return to that later? For now, Xavier, Nevada. Do you have anything you want to be doing?
Well, I would like to do the downtime action of get a damn drink.
Yeah.
So it says that I blow off some steam, carouse, and generally get into trouble. You may be trying to make connections, collect gossip, forge a reputation, or even just to forget what happened on the last mission. There's usually trouble. This was something he wanted to do ever since he first left prison. So, yeah, he wants to get a damn drink.
Okay. So to be clear, do you have like a particular intention above and beyond relaxation? Like, do you want to make some connections?
I am going for specifically gaining connections and building a good reputation.
Okay, so
Xavier, are you
Y-
going out?
yes, I was planning to go in to get a drink.
So, do you want to maybe get like free drinks?
I be kind of difficult to do that here, but sure, I'll play along.
Maybe difficult for someone who's not me. So I was just like looking at some of these billboards coming in. I think my friends are in town.
Your friends.
Yeah, you might have heard of them. They are like this electric punk group that are also rumored to be like pirates or something, but they're really not pirates, but they get confused for pirates because they sometimes look like pirates and they play for pirates, but Punk's not dead, it's fine.
What's the name of this band that
The
you
name of
know?
this band, remind me of it real quick, Obi, so I don't have to go look it up.
yeah, actually, let me go fucking. Where I put that
Is
shit.
it
They
Abby?
are they're a trio, the K Mac, Jay Stein, and Abednego.
Yeah,
Uh,
JKA.
two two men and an NHP. The NHP is usually in some variety of spider drone
Hmm.
in person, although it is like in open, not at all secret that the NHP is actually like contained in their ship. Like that's where the consciousness is. Um,
Like
I
I'm
think
I'm
here.
just saying, I know they're watering holes, and like we can maybe go like scope them out and see if they're there, and I can maybe like I always get free drinks no matter where I go, but I can maybe help you out too.
You know what? I'll take you up on that offer. It doesn't save me a lot of time looking specifically for a unique watering hole to go to.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty unique, and we fit the aesthetic and our overalls. I'm just saying we look amazing as I like kind of my new vinyl leather jacket that I have sewed the lining of like my prison shirt inside of it to keep it from sticking to my skin. like um
Yeah. So, like, yeah, you're able to like get to them. It doesn't take you long to find them. Like you have to wander a bit,
mhm.
but like especially with Univi, and it seems like they're like basically like once you get to like the like big, swanky is not the right word for it because this ain't that kind of station. Uh, but like it is big, it is nice, and they have lots of expensive things.
Mhm.
Uh, and like you're able to get through their guards pretty quick because it seems like once somebody recognizes your face specifically, Navi, they're actually pretty interested in seeing you. So
He's with me. Don't worry, he's with me. Okay? Like he's with me.
yeah,
Mhm.
you've got you've got your boy J Mac, who is a very heavily muscled man, like a and you see like naturally, so like often it is people like in the space future often like getting the body shape that you want isn't too difficult if you're willing to just shell out for it. So it's rare to see people who just put in the work to get their natural bodies shaped a certain kind of visually impressive way.
Xavier respects that because he's one of those kind of people. Like he looks like, I respect that. I respect
Yeah,
that hard work.
Uh
K-Mac did. Stein on not exactly the other hand. The clearly they aren't they're not on the immediate path to self destruction, but you see it like the network of tattoos and the kind of like sloppy way of presenting themselves of somebody who is like they live for their passions and their habits first, and the body's along for the ride, and it looks like it's holding up pretty well so far, at least. So yeah, there's that.
Hmm.
Not
That
not underweight.
that person over there looks like they really enjoy that whole body modification life.
I mean, they can afford it.
And there's and of course there's what you're pretty sure is a Abednego in eight-legged drone with a couple of with it's got a couple of arms that it's using to or that it's using to pour itself drinks, which seems like an odd thing. You're not really sure what exactly you're getting out of it, but doing it, Abednego's drinking too. Okay, it's happening, and it's Jay Stein who speaks first, like kind of like leaning in. Novia herself.
Oh my gosh. What a coincidence seeing you here.
You
How are you?
busted out.
What?
You busted out.
um, yeah, I guess. I had some help though. Because like it's just so hard to plan a jailbreak by yourself, but it's cool. This is my friend. I'll let him introduce himself because I don't know what kind of code name he wants to use.
I hold out a hand to it was it K-Mac or J Stein that greeted us?
Jay Stein was the person who spoke first. K-Mac is the bodybuilder.
I hold out a hand in greeting. You can call me Xavier.
Like it's like kind of like looks at you for a second, like smiles like a little bit, and like yeah, and like looks over to and K Mac is the one who takes it, and like it's very much that like that testing grip you get between certain kinds of men. Sometimes like you just want to like he's squeezing you a little bit just to see like how much like how much this is how much you would show and like how much you really
I would like to use the ability Stay Cool. Whereas perform a task that requires concentration, dexterity, speed, or precision under pressure. And he's going to squeeze back, but he is not going to like show that he's putting an effort into it. He's like just keeping like this cool, level-headed poker face as he's just squeezing the person's hands back.
Okay, I'll say you don't need to roll for this. And like yeah, you kind of like you squeeze back, and you can see like a little bit of like a grin appear on like K Mac's face. You think he doesn't like actually get your kind of pushback very often, and also like you are genuinely impressing him. It's like yeah, and eventually like let's go to the handshake and nod, and just you're like, I think I like you.
Pretty
And
respectable gentleman yourself. So you are friends with Via.
and yeah, Jay Stein like speaks. Not the Abednego who like speaks up, like is still pouring drinks, and in fact like is midway through like pouring a drink down as they start speaking. Yeah, something like that. We see her pretty often. To well, way things went before there was whole fucking war and all that. We would pretty go around pretty often. Parties, networking. Nevada's one of those kinds of faces that you get used to seeing when you're when you're in usually the safer corners of the galaxy.
Don't be modest. We never do anything safe together.
I see.
Oh, you know what they used to say way back on the home planet.
The home planet, yeah.
Don't have to self-incriminate.
I plead the fifth. So hey, Jay Stein, it is so good to see you, and I am here obviously to catch up and to just kind of get my feel for the normal world again, even though I've got like some not normal things to do. But my friend Xavier and I, we were just sort of wondering if you could hook us up with a little drinky because, we haven't gotten our first job yet. And as you can see, like, we're going completely mech space station core right now, with our outfits. But that,
Actually, it's against our wishes, but
right. So, I was just wondering if you could maybe get some drinks over here.
Yeah, you see like Jason like reach up and like yeah, a few like other drones plus like some people look kind of a little bit harried, like perhaps they're being worked a little bit too hard. Uh, like they come out with a bevy of drinks and start very expensive drinks, mostly just expensive, and start pouring for you. Uh,
You are so amazing. Thank you.
thank you.
and then
Thank you very much,
Jay
actually.
Stein, oh, oh, nice. Yeah, I remember you had some interest in that. Is that how you busted out? Got yourself a little bap.
There was a lot of yogurt involved.
There
Righty.
was the escape from the jail. It was a joint effort between all of us. They actually played a very integral role in all of it. If it wasn't for her and her quick thinking and her charming ways, we actually probably wouldn't have made out.
Oh, stop. I mean,
Olive.
don't, but it's fine.
No, don't sell
Olive.
yourself short, Nevaeh. Your skills have really helped us out. You may be a bit of a loose cannon at times, but I can rely on you when the chips are down.
You fucking taking
Samesies.
notes yet?
Samesies.
Now, how about we at least have a toast to our first night out after being behind bars all this time?
Fucking
Cheers.
hell yeah! And like you see like everybody join in, including the NHV. Uh,
And I think if they have like such a good night, I think at some point Xavier would offer to mix drinks for everyone.
Ooh.
yeah, sure, they're like absolutely perfectly happy to let you at it. And yeah, you're very good at this mixing business. So like yeah, they're very relaxed. And one last thing you hear, oh yeah, so yeah, you said you didn't have work yet. Yeah.
No, we don't have work as of yet.
Okay.
We just got here.
Mhm.
We're still looking for work,
Yeah, well,
among many other
I
things.
guess maybe come back here in a couple days if you're still looking for something. Maybe we can figure something out. Yeah, you know.
Thank you.
I don't know if I told you, but popular around these parts. I'm sure I could get you some.
I mean, you
In
gotta have
mind.
speakers carried, right?
You're too good for roadie work. Don't need that shit out of you. Come on.
Okay, fine. I can always just like work the door and get people in.
Friends of us get treated better than that shit. Yeah, yeah.
I know, but true, and I whatever you have for us, like I'm sure it's great and wonderful and awesome. Uh, but I don't mind getting my hands a little bit dirty. Like I have been to prison after all, because like there's just that whole like starting over from the ground up. That's very ew, but also like isn't that what you're supposed to do? But I mean,
Xavier is letting Nevaeh continue talk because he's like, no, go on. He's really curious to see where this goes because he could easily interject himself, but he just really wants to see where this goes.
but I mean, like, I don't know, like, what did you have in mind, Jay Stein? What kind of work did you actually think that like I could actually like do? Like, do you need like your Mac
He
polished?
puts a hand on Nevaeh's shoulder. She's now an incredibly hardened criminal. She did time When you come out, you become a whole lot different. You become harder and a
Just
bit more determined
so
for
hard.
your fight or flight mentality. So she's ready to stab someone, right? He like looks. He then looks up at. He looks past at Kay. He's like.
I feel like somewhere on a distant, like opposite corner of this station, when you go, she is ready to stab someone. Ariadne just gets that deja vu feeling of like, feels like somebody just walked over my group. Having like almost shanked someone earlier. Must have been my imagination.
You did like almost get out your mech polished, and you're like, and you remember idly, Jay Stein is, among other things, hellaciously horny, and he's interested, very interested. But like it seems like he feels like he might be getting like kind of like mixed signal from Xavier, and he's kind of like halfway to like the like flirty grin, is like I was what was it? Like Benio like kind of like nudges him like one of his like, oh shit, yeah. Fucking yeah. So with popular people, yeah, we know a lot of some of the shall we say shipping acquisitions specialists that work around here, and gotta say, all things considered, we're in real tight with the ones who are currently running this shit. So if you ever want to if you're willing to get your hands a little bit dirty, or get some work done, I'm sure they pay well.
I mean, as long as we have something to like clean the underneath of our nail belts with when we're done, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, I know we're to get a great manicure here, by the way, as I look over at Xavier. So, if that's something that you're into, I think.
No, I'm totally fine getting a manicure.
Okay, we should all do it as a group. Like, we should get everyone in on it, because I think that once we get a little money, we deserve a little pampering. So, oh, that's the wine.
Xavier chuckles a bit. You know what? You're absolutely right. We do deserve a bit of the nice life after everything we've been through. So once we do get this job out the way, and we do have some pocket change to use, I think I'd be more than happy for all of us to go out and treat ourselves nice to some manicures. Honestly, Nevaeh, you do have something a bit over me in this situation, though.
I do.
I'm not. No, yes. How do I put this? I'm not hip to the latest trends.
You know what? That is like totally fine, because if you're not hip to the latest trends, you know what that means? It means that you just become the latest trend, right?
Become the latest trend.
Yes.
What does that exactly entail, becoming the latest trend?
Hold on a
Marching
second.
to the rhythm of your own fucking synths, man.
Hold on a second. Watch this. And I'm going to like take one of my drinks, and I'm gonna like walk over to like one of the nearest, like, just random, like, maybe like 2 or 3 ladies that are kind of talking that look pretty fashionable.
Sure.
And be like, hey, I love those shoes. Those are, oh man. But, like, have you seen mine and how cute they are? And I'm gonna like point down to like my prison sneakers that I still have on, like the blue, like the navy blue slip-ons, right? Do you see these? I just got these like at some really small little space station on my way here. Apparently, it's going to be so big to not have laces. So
I think I recognize those. Those kind of like the ones they haven't. Oh my god, fucking Stacy! I told you, prison chic is fucking
it's it's totally in it. And I tell you what, I heard that like a really famous person broke out of prison recently. So, um, like there's just gonna be all of these
Yeah.
things.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, you fucking
ooh,
hear
you
it,
know
like,
what else? Like, check this out. And she's gonna like stand back and like flare out her overalls, which are way too big, in like the drop crotch. It's so breezy. I got this at the same place.
it's hanging off of you. It's fucking gorgeous, Stacy. Gorgeous. Oh my god. Oh, you
I
said
know,
you said you
like
heard about
it's
like people like fucking breaking
the
out.
more oil stains, the better. And let me tell you, it doesn't like necessarily have to be like this baggy, because you see that hot guy over there and how well it fits him, but differently. Like that's gonna be the mask look.
I look over. Everyone, like, as soon as they point over to Xavier, Xavier is just like in mid sip. He like does a little nod to them and then goes back to his drink.
Mhm.
You see, like it's like a few. It's like I feel like women like behind them, like not part of the conversation. We were like kind of overhearing it. Like one of them makes like eye contact with you, Xavier, and like she makes like a she's like this she is propositioning you from across the room. Like it is like respond to it however you will or will not. But it's out there.
Xavier just he hmm. Xavier just he just like gives them a polite nod. That's all he does. He just gives them a polite nod. Like he isn't overly just saying, "Oh yeah, let's go do this." No, he's actually giving a polite nod to be polite. Like he isn't showing interest, but he's just doing it to be polite.
She kind of like she like it's like you see her like and like you see her like think about it for like a couple seconds, like is this worth like putting in some extra effort, and then she just kind of like shrugs, like moves on like back to whatever she was doing before, kind of seems to lose some interest.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm standing next to this girl, and I'm assuming I notice her like eyes on him. I want to do that.
You're a bit further away from the girl
Okay.
who's making eyes. Like she was
Okay.
she was not part of this conversation.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
She was like close
She
enough
overheard
to
the
overhear.
conversation
Yeah,
to like
like close enough to
follow
like
suit.
overhear, like follow some looks, see.
Anyway, when I'm done, I'm gonna be like, okay, ladies, it was great talking to you. These drinks are delicious. You should definitely get the purple one. But I think my friends are calling me back over there, Jay Stein and K Back. So I will talk to you later. Bye. And I'm gonna like just go back to where Xavier's at, and I'm gonna stand next to him. Everyone's gonna be wearing navy blue slip-on sneakers tomorrow. Watch. Like,
I will hold you to that. And he clinks his glass against hers and takes a long drink.
All right, so I'm gonna say I think I'm gonna call that the lead-in, and just to see if get a little something. You're both gonna be rolling for get a damn drink, but with an additional like before everything else, an additional source of accuracy from partying with some of the most well-to-do rockers on this whole station.
Can I also add in my charm along with it?
Sure.
Sweet.
Can I add my charm and my word on the street? I think just my charm.
What would you be going for that word on the street would be relevant?
That is true. I can't even think of something right now. My brain isn't. But if I could do charm, so technically I would get 2 accurate dice because of my background, right? Because you're giving us
yes,
one.
and then in that case you'd be
okay.
Oh
yeah,
yes, would I get an accurate dice because of my outlaw background?
On this station, yes.
Okay then.
When you have multiple accuracies, you roll these twice and take the best.
That's the one? Okay, that's even better. Because that means I got exactly a 20.
Yo, I got me a 24.
Okay, so from this list that I'm about to lay out, uh, choose two, note them down somewhere on your character sheet as reserves that you can call in at a later date. Namely, you can choose two from a good reputation, friend or connection, a useful item or piece of information, and a convenient opportunity. From that list, choose two.
Choose two. I think good reputation for sure is definitely
All
something
right.
we would pick up, and I'll let Wally pick the other one.
I
Oh,
think.
each of you are getting.
Oh, each
Yeah.
of us get two. Okay.
Yes.
I guess good reputation, and what are the other ones you said?
A friend or connection,
Uh
a
huh.
useful item or piece of information,
Uh huh.
and a convenient opportunity.
I'm gonna go with convenient opportunity.
Okay. So yeah, note those down. Note those down.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to take a friend or connection because Xavier and Kay they basically bonded over the fact they're both muscle bros.
It's like in Full Metal
Sure,
Alchemist.
sure.
Pretty much, yeah. That's exactly what happened. Like there was no flexing involved, but it's exactly what
A
happened.
little anime
That they
sparkle.
Yeah, like they shook hands, and between them, they had the most serious face, but you saw all these sparkles in between them. Just like that. So yeah, he gets a friend or connection and a convenient opportunity.
Okay. 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 So yeah, note both of those down. That'll be you're down. That'll be you done with a while as like kind of like fade away to both party in the night and then and probably a little bit of the morning away too. Uh, Ariadne, you are, and I assume Julian as well, unless you're not coming, uh, are headed up to meet your boy Trey, who you find him off in a kind of like relatively secluded residential area, and when he opens the door, like the face you are seeing kind of for the first time on the wiry body you recognize is he looks haggard, like his dirty blonde hair is like real messy. He's kind of he's the kind of pale you get when you're not really like getting out in light enough, like even artificial light. Like he's
Not enough vitamin D in his regular.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah, and as well, like when he ushers you in, like weird thing, like first he offers both of you a pair of night vision goggles, and if you're one and puts some on himself. And well, actually, he doesn't put them on because he's been wearing them the whole time. And the reason he's been wearing them the whole time is there aren't lights here. There are no lights here.
Cool.
Like no switches, no lamps, nothing. He doesn't wear it. Like he doesn't have lights. There's one thing that would be a window to like the station. Yeah, that is like shuttered and boarded up. Like you can't see out. Nothing.
And this is a previous ally of yours, Ariadne.
Yeah, this is somebody I did jobs with before someone sold us out. So I'll put on the night vision goggles. Really
What a
just
unique
here
party
to
favor, but I suppose when in Rome.
This isn't how this fella used to act before, is it? Or was he always just kind of weird like this?
The weirdest thing about him was like the helmet thing, but even then, like is like you know his name and you know that is his name. Like he was never like really it's like really that seemed if anything more of a a weird fashion statement than anything else. Like he's not like no he's on edge now and not in a way he ever was. Even when
That's
things got hairy.
Okay. That's basically what I was trying to figure out.
Yeah.
So, not going to waste time here, but as you know, I've been gone for a little while. What's been going on?
Yeah. So just gonna tell you this right now. Being watched all the time.
I mean,
They
yeah.
know you're here. They know you're here now too.
They.
And by they, you mean the Alexandros, or you mean whoever was responsible for getting me locked up?
Probably the Alexandros. I mean, this is one of their hoods. I'm sure they have somebody on patrol. But it's they're I don't know names. I don't look to find out. You probably couldn't look to find out. I mean, I guess I probably shouldn't have even. I didn't want. It's been a long time. You know, it's been years since you went away. Since uh, so many since it happened. You just I don't. You're not. You weren't. You know. You're. How did you get out? How did you get out?
Okay. I think if I may interject.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Julian kind of kind of inserts herself into the conversation like, Trey, darling. You seem a little tense, but don't worry. Your previous colleague Ariadne has made some new friends. After all, do you think we would come here and be unwittingly observed? Ariadne's rolling with me now. After all, we have a unique set of skills that get us through what we're doing these days. So while I'm here, you can just put your feet up and relax. Pour a cup of tea, have a regular conversation. After all, we're all new friends here. And I would like to very specifically use, Julian's con artist skills. Probably charm. Reading a situation, I think, kind of reads here because body language vibes are coming off this dude in spades. To put him genuinely at ease so we can have a conversation without it kind of looping around to gang stalking, because that kind of seems like that's his energy right now.
You start saying this, and even as you're saying it, Ariadne just kind of visibly relaxes because she's not a talker really. She's not exactly the kind of person that knows, hey, we can get more information out of people if everyone's more calm and relaxed. So she's just like, I've been in jail for the last several years. I need to know what's going on now. So then it's just oh wait, okay, we're practicing being smooth today. I see. So I'm just gonna try and be cool.
I think Julian has a very pleasant smile and then looks at Ariadne, and Ariadne, you see almost like a Grinch corner of the mouth turned like an extra 30-degree smile. Like Julian's having a fun time. This has been it's been, was it 18 months, 19 months of hustling kind of meatheads for additional cool yogurt, and now is an actual opportunity to use these kind of smooth talking skills on a different type of person.
Yeah, and I'll say you don't. Okay, so first off, you don't need to roll to figure out he's on edge. He is very he is obviously absolutely certain that he is being monitored. Whether or not that's true, you have not verified. You don't know.
I don't need to.
But you're very sure he is very sure he's being watched.
Yeah.
And you're ever to be very calm here and he trusts Ariadne, he knows she's always good. She knows she's always good. You're not, and you're not, you haven't gotten out any recording device or anything like that. You have not
we're not being immediately suspicious as hell.
Yeah, and he kind of he doesn't like being this tense. So you're making the effort, he
just appreciates that. Yeah.
Let me get some drinks. I don't have tea. Is coffee good?
Yeah, whatever works,
Coffee's
honestly.
perfectly fine.
Yeah. And like, yeah, he gets that, like, there's like a few like minutes while like he preps that up and like comes back like
We just sit
relax.
in a pitch black living room,
Drinking our
upholstered.
That's exactly
yes, with our night vision goggles on or off, as may
Just
be the
kind
case.
of like, oh yes. Oh. And it bonks
Hey.
off the edge of the night vision goggles. You raise it a bit too high, being like, this
It
is
just
really
reminds me of that one scene from is it Get Shorty? It's the Get Shorty sequel where you see Andre 3000 sipping a teacup with a revolver. It's the same kind of energy.
Yeah, in fact, like you see,
Yeah.
like when it like when you like you bonk your cups, like it helps if you like lean your head back first.
I'm actually
Yeah.
like just very weirdly comfortable with this because, doing such sort of action at a distance is my job as a saboteur. I'm just going off muscle memory. So I feel like I'm the least weirded out by sitting in total darkness.
Yeah, sitting in
Yeah.
total darkness with a coffee. It is
This
very
is what I
slightly
do
dis-
professionally. It's
Yeah,
just
you get a very weird sense of deja vu. Like if
Yeah.
anything, what feels kind of odd to you here in this moment is you don't have a rifle nearby.
That's the
So,
weird
like,
part. Yep. I have my sidearm, but like that's like a toy. It's not. Yeah.
And yeah, like it's yeah, you're right. You had questions, right? Yeah.
Well, Julian, did you want to go first?
I mean, sure.
She's
I
good for it, by the way, and I'm just saying this towards Trey. It's like, that we're
Yeah,
still taking this
yeah.
seriously while we don't know who it was that sold us out. But
Yeah, it's you're good. I know you. If you vouch for him, it's fine.
yeah.
It's fine.
For a little bit of a clarifying point, my line of work isn't quite the same as Ariadne's, but we both, I suppose, have a bit of a common thread in why we might have been in the Tartarus for as long as we were. After all, sometimes old friends have new motives. I just wanted to ask if you've been having your ear to the ground for the last little while. I don't suppose there's been any how to put this, major upsets with the mega corporation elite. Money surprisingly going missing, embarrassing stories being leaked to the press, such things.
You see him like stiff. You see him like go like real stiff at like the mention of like mega corporations before he like forces himself to relax. And like no. I don't. That's not. I don't get involved in that. Not like seem like glance at Ariadne real quick. Not anymore. Not anymore.
Okay. But nothing even on the news either. That's interesting. But still does tell me a lot. Thank you. Although I suppose Ariadne has more pressing concerns considering.
Yeah, probably.
I actually don't know what happened to any of them when the job went bad. Anybody else make it out? I mean, nobody else ended up in Tartarus from the group, but
There were, as you remember, there were, there was you, there was me, there was Nines, there was Steven, there was Hero. Yeah, out of the rest of us, I know you're, now I know you're alive. Last I heard, Hero, he went state's evidence, but I think his system went up, and the war's really hot there, so I don't know how he's doing. Everybody else is. but I don't. He didn't, and like he like kind of like looks around like a little bit like well like some of the old nerves coming back. I don't, and I'm going to say like in this moment, like kind of as he looks about, like maybe like your eyes, like like this kind of natural human nature, like your eyes follow his a little bit, and like look around the room to make I'm gonna call it a notice roll. So like
Okay.
add whatever relevant skill triggers and like background stuff you feel appropriate.
Is this just Ariadne?
Both of you. Like so
I'd
you're both
say-
paying attention here.
I'd say spot.
Sure.
I would like to go with read a
Oh
situation.
God, that's awful. That's a total of 5.
Oh, rip.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would say yes to that thing you said, Julian. So yeah, roll them dice.
Oh,
20,
sorry,
20 plus
never
4,
mind, it's a-
24.
It's a total of 7, which is still absolutely atrocious, but not 5.
I mean, you're sitting in the dark, so I don't blame you. Oh,
And
I
I
guess we get the
also
1
just
point of
learned
grit.
that, like people that I spent a fair amount of my lifetime with are no longer around, period. So that fucking sucks.
Yeah. So yeah, Julian, you look around, you follow his gaze, and then like you notice something like pulse, like a little like a light source, and like that's not right. There aren't any of those here. You know that. You know that's how it does. And so like you're like you kind of like freeze, like staring, like kind of like staring at like that like section of like wall. And like after like a couple of seconds, you again. A couple of seconds. You again. You realize.
There is a bug in the room, huh?
Yeah.
Because also I crit, I kind of want to establish a connecting fact now because I think that's juicy. So upon Trey listing the members of the crew, Niles, Stephen, and Hero?
It was a Knives.
Knives.
Knives, Stephen, and
Hero.
Hero. Like spelled in the traditional fashion, like not
Hiro.
Yeah.
Hero even. It was
okay.
Probably
okay,
not,
so
like,
not even
probably
Snow
not
Crash
his
up
real
in here.
name, but
Sure. Yeah. Julian stands up quite suddenly, I think, and says, "Hero, I don't suppose it's a Hero Tanaka."
Yeah.
And like walks across the room, and I don't think we saw how the mech kind of attacked in the scene in our skirmish as we escaped before, but the idea is that it attacks via kicks, so there's a lot of ballistic twirls and kicks to do sword attacks. And in this room, Julian very suddenly does a roundhouse kick into the wall, and there is a metallic crunch as this kind of tiny flashing light breaks and falls to the floor.
What the fuck?
It seems we both know the same surveillance expert.
Yeah, you see Trey like jump. You see like Trey like jump like as you kick the wall, and it's like. He starts he's like absolutely like freaking out. You see him like running about, and like you don't have to like make any rolls like for either of you like to tell like easily. Like Ariana from just familiarity, and like Julian from just like fact you've been like reading this guy, like he didn't know that was there. Like he was like convinced he was being watched, but he did not know that was there.
In such a literal sense, yeah. No, it seems we both know the same surveillance expert, Ariadne.
Yeah, and is there like anything else you're going to be doing like now that you know you were being watched, like, and like as you like kind of like look at the bug and realize that like it was actively transmitting. Like it probably like they definitely heard everything you said, and like they obviously know like biological extension that this bug is gone.
Yeah, I mean, I like that as a dramatic cut point, but if you want to do something, Ari, go for it.
And then then one of the walls of the room doesn't quite explode because that's not how this armor penetrating round works.
Oh
Ha.
no.
But
Cool, I just died.
no, it's fine.
No, it's funny. It's funny. Go,
That's
go, go.
not how this armor penetrating round works, but no, it's fine.
Yeah, it's like, don't worry.
Like,
The armor penetrating doesn't work that way, but it's fine.
The room is pitch black, and like it's a very good bug, but it's not so good that they triangulate like exact positions from where you were. Plus, after you broke the bug, everybody moved around. I promise, don't worry. The first shot missed. There's a very big hole in the room now. Pretty sure like the next shots might not. So you know, you might want to figure out what you're doing about that.
oh yeah, no, I want to like grab Julian and get the fuck out of there. Fuck this guy. Like if him and Hero are the only two that survived, that means that one of them sold me out. And if it's him, I don't want to be anywhere near him. And if it's Hero, we'll deal with that later.
Okay,
But right now we need to not get blown up.
One thing I will definitely note just for your future records, like
Yeah.
Trey has been like absolutely sincere, and he did not know that bug was there.
Yeah.
And he is
I just mean that
panicking the same
yeah,
way
that
as-
like in character though, she would know, like she'd be suspicious because logically it could only be two other people, and like
Sure,
yeah.
sure.
I did not read the room, I think, on my roll well enough to truly be like, oh yeah, I believe you, dude. I'm gonna be like,
Sure. You wanna feel free to hold suspicions, whichever suspicions you feel appropriate.
Oh yeah, we'll have like
anyway.
a Human style accusation down the line. But
Yeah,
for now, let's not
back
die.
to the attempted murder in progress. Yes, you're pretty sure more shots will be coming very shortly. Because I mean, probably a semi-automatic. And so, yeah, how are you going to deal with this active shooting situation?
Well, Iris just grabbed me. So where you heading?
So this shot through the wall, right? I'm assuming that we can still get out the way we came into this room?
Yeah, door's not locked.
Okay, so we're gonna do that, but then what we're gonna do after we leave that is try and find a crowd to blend into and take the most sort of like circuitous, zigzaggy type of route. We are not going immediately back to the ship. Because this just screams someone shot through a building to try and flush us out. We're going to try and find some place where we can go blend in and hide. Either a crowd or some like out of the way location, but we're not going directly back to our base.
Okay, so yeah, that's going to be a roll to get away. Like I'm going to say, to get away. It is obviously transparently risky because you are actively being shot at. I'm not gonna. It's I promise you're absolutely not going to die if you fail, but because
that's
okay
yeah. Because I want to use my donated crit success to make sure we don't get shot either. Like we can just escape and we're not gonna.
Okay, but what I'll say is, Ariana, that'll cover you great. You absolutely won't be getting hit.
Okay.
So Julian. You do still have some dice to roll for yourself.
Yes, I do.
Can I lend you
and have some? I mean, I have like
you can absolutely lend Julian accuracy. You're
I was gonna
both
say I want to lend you
together.
accuracy because we're doing this together.
I mean,
so
yeah,
like, take your
I feel like
D6.
action would kick in anyway because you two are pulling each other through the streets.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A question I will also ask: are either of you going to be lending accuracy to Trey?
No.
No. Sorry.
Julian is at least in conversation a very nice person, but Julian doesn't give a fuck whether Trey lives or dies.
Sure. Just
mm,
had to be sure.
And
Had to
I
be
don't know
asked,
who
had
I
to be
can
asked.
trust anymore, except for Julian. I know I can trust her, so I'm just
Mhm.
like, okay, it's you and me.
Going to
Yeah,
roll
I'm-
Trey in the open.
I'm gonna go and bye. Nice knowing you, mate.
No. Oh,
I mean, that's cool. We get like a cool discretion shot. We get some Helsing shit.
I mean, that also helps me narrow down who the betrayer is, doesn't
That
it?
too.
Nice.
Oh no.
However, in terms of not dying, I would like to use my stay cool at +2 to keep my shit together under these current
It is very stressful.
desperate circumstances. I have one advantage from Ari helping me. In terms of fumbling through this dark house, do I have an advantage for having night vision goggles on?
It's not big. You don't. I'll say it doesn't really help you because like it's not a big space and you don't and the night vision goggles are going to stop being relevant basically as soon as you leave.
Sure.
As soon as you leave the house.
So then it is 1d20 plus 1d6 plus 2. Let's go.
Sure.
26.
Okay.
Nice.
But yeah, you also make it out very clean. You have enough time to actually I'll say like your crit bonus is not only not taking fire or shrapnel, you also like get to see as you're like running away and as Trey is like also trying to escape probably going another way because his definition of a safe place to be is probably not your ship. He doesn't even know where you fucking don't know any of that.
We're not even going back there anyway immediately. So
yeah, you see him trying to turn a corner and they have you realize where the shooter is you realize finally where the shooter is sitting you're a sniper. It's the kind of thing you could think of. Finally draw the path back, see that glint. You see them take the shot and Trey is fucking gone. He's there 1 minute he's gone. Trey is absolutely the dead body that was Trey has been eliminated, and as soon as that happens, shooting stops. They're very much people who are freaking out, panicking. You see a few gangsters who are who seem a few people are a few of them are trying to usher people to safety, and all the rest are just taking cover, and as soon as Trey is dead, the shooting stops. You think you see them you see whoever it is pull away from whatever their shooting point and go to do whatever they're gonna do.
So just to make it clear, because this is now swiftly turning into an investigation, we see a mysterious figure atop a building at a trajectory that could have made the shot, and they ducked away.
Ariadne made the connection 100%. That was the shooter. Saw him pull the trigger, and also that as soon as they confirmed Trey's death, they stopped.
They stopped.
You feel that you're pretty sure that rifle's strong enough that if they wanted to keep shooting at you,
they could.
They could, but they're not.
Which means a couple of things. But I'm sure we'll have time to discuss that.
Yeah. And also depending on how long you stick around, you might notice the gangsters. They're not freaking out, and as soon as they confirm that what happened to Trey and go check his place, you're gonna lose interest.
People will check on Trey.
Great. Oh, awesome.
But yeah, with that, we're going to call a good 5-10 minute break while everybody decompresses, considers implications.
Mhm.
Oh boy.
See you on the other
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, we will see you guys in about 5 to 10 minutes. Everyone, wave as you go on break with your. Come on, Splash. Thank you. And hey, we are back live. Everyone wave. Welcome back, everyone. Obi, go ahead, fam.
All right. Bet. So, at some point, I imagine everybody is going to decide to make their way back to the ship to reconvene, maybe recharge a little bit, perhaps report on events of interest.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
you arrive a little bit separately. Like Ariadne and Julian, you both. Well, Marlo was already here. He had mostly been staying here, like only venturing out to grab supplies every so often. Uh, Ariadne and Julian, you arrive first because your investigations and then near brush with death didn't take as long as Navaya and Xavier's
Night
knockout
on the
razor.
lash.
Yeah. So yeah, you both arrive. Greet Marlowe and
Yeah. You
few
guys come
minutes.
in. You see Marlowe. He's got a jeweler's loop in one eye. A Rubik's cube sits now completed at a desk on the ship, and he's fiddling with some needle and thread, as with the jeweler's loop still locked in the eye. These bamboo cords are so fiddly. I think that finally. Yep, got it. Nice.
I just turn over to Julian and I go, I don't know that I'm quite used to life back on the outside at this point.
Speaking of the outside,
Let's never go outside again.
Like you see coming in, Xavier has Nevaeh over his shoulder like this.
Oh my
And-
god! I love this place. I love this place.
She had a lot to drink.
Oh,
We made some
wow.
connections though, some much needed connections, but she
Hey
drank a lot.
everyone, how are you? Where did you go? Because I kind of like slide off of Xavier.
Just noodle out
Yeah.
of his arm.
Like he just lets it's kind of like when you're carrying a cat who just wants to get free, that's what he does.
Mhm.
We
completely
had
fluid motion, by the way, like of the peculiar grace that only the deeply drunk are capable of.
Mhm.
But it's okay. Like I thought of all of you, and she's gonna pull out from her overalls like 3 plastic bottles of mixed drink that she somehow heisted, and like hand it to the 3 of you. This one's for Marlo. This one's for Ari. This one's for Julian. We had such a good time together.
Ari like opens it, takes a sniff, immediately closes it, and then goes into the like headstand meditative thing that she had been doing to just like deal with life previously, and is like, nope, I'm just gonna take 5 here.
There was a lot of alcohol, like in that brief whiff, like there was enough like smell for everybody sober, like to catch a little bit, like that was
Mhm.
a lot of
So
alcohol.
said
Yeah.
she's been drinking a lot.
I think upon kind of like giving Julian her drink, Nevea just kind of like paps her in the face. It's like a there. It's like yeah, thanks, Nevea.
You're welcome.
So how was the rest of you? How was your evening?
Better now that I have this. Thank you very much. That's all. Wow, that's really
It's strong.
something.
It's
I think
strong.
I think I'm gonna take a sit down on our space couch and finish it there. Yes, we've had a very I think at this point you probably gather that both Ariadne and Julian have like what's the type of like bricks that are used to build really cheap houses?
Oh, like
Big.
cinder blocks?
There we go. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Sorry, my
yeah.
brain wasn't firing there. We have like
No
cinder
worries.
block dust on our like jumpsuits and shit.
Yeah.
And you now process that. It's like
And
we've had a complicated day.
He looks at both of you, and then like then his face just like kind of like scrunches a bit. What happened?
Oh, by the way, Marlo, you heard the gunshots. Maybe you like, perhaps until this moment you didn't make the connection, but you heard the gunshots.
It was that loud.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so Marlo, like, finally, as everything's addressing, he takes out the earpods, which are blaring Vivaldi's Four Seasons. Puts them down.
Perfect.
Well, I was having a nice quiet evening. It looks like you all had business.
Well, we're both still alive, which is more than I can say for pretty much everyone that I used to know, except for one person that I'm now pretty sure is the one who sold me out. So I'm great. And she's saying this from being upside down in a headstand, which those of you that ever spent any time like near where her cell was in the prison is the I'm stressed the fuck out position.
Oh yeah, Xavier
For her, it's
recognizes
the
this.
like.
He
So-
just
First T pose
recognizes
for stress.
this.
I got this.
Yeah.
He recognizes this, and then as he looks back over at Julian, what happened?
Okay, so both Ariadne and I had previous lives that we wanted to check on, and it ended up being something complicated. Wibble, 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 flashback, explaining. We get like the exact same like scenes from like last episode in sepia tone in kind of rapid flashes, so as it's kind of explained.
If we named this a signature move because Ariadne has a thing for the 90s, it would be called Be Kind, Please Rewind. So like that's what our flashbacks are called from now on.
Heard.
See, so
And Trey didn't make it. So if he was the one who sold me out, which I'm now thinking is less likely, I left him to die. And if he's not, someone's hunting us.
do you
I
know
don't-
if I followed you?
Not you specifically. Calm down. But I don't think they did. We
Either
took our
those-
time and we.
Who's ever is after you is either incredibly confident in their capabilities or immensely stupid.
Still, that's equally dangerous no matter how you look at it.
Exactly. They took down a building, like a wall. Just
A building.
Yeah, using armor penetrating rounds in a station is the sign of either supreme confidence or immense stupidity.
Yeah.
Possibly the former. We also
Sounds like the
learned
former.
that we share a previous colleague, Ariadne and I.
Yes.
Oh.
This just gets more and more interesting. And by interesting, I mean I hate it.
Well,
The
here's
price of
hoping
freedom,
that
I
may
suppose.
system
Sorry.
that may cheer you guys up a bit. We do have opportunity for work, and Lord knows we do need the money, especially since, well, he looks at the space sofa.
The
I just
Alexand-
imagine like when you do that, a spring is just like boing and like pokes out of the fabric like right at that time.
And in fact, like it being a space sofa, it does actually have like some like repulsors to kind of keep it at like a steady, kind of keep it at steady height, floating a little bit, because you know it's space, and you gotta have a little something for your space couch. So they usually float, and this one the repulsor kind of sputter, it's like it drops a little bit, and drops a little bit like.
Since
Kinda,
Julian's
you've
sitting
kind
on
of
it,
got
she's
you've
like,
kind of
"Oh."
gotten used to the rhythm. You kind of gotten used to the rhythm after like a minute or two. It's a steady drop.
Okay.
You think you've got a couple more months out of the space couch probably.
So
that's good to hear. Though the Alexandros don't have full control of the station, just in my walkabout getting things for this delightful piece as he starts fiddling with the Rubik's Cube. Um, yes, no, the saw some of their folks, but they're not. They're concentrated in specific areas, choke points, but they don't have full control of the station.
Well, whoever opened fire on you guys is obviously still here, and they're working with someone. I refuse to believe that they're working by themselves to pull something off like this so recklessly. They would have to have some kind of safety blanket that they can get away with doing stuff like this. So I'm
And
just
All
gonna,
the big heists work in a team,
yeah.
so it stands to reason. Although
So,
the firing did stop after they managed to successfully hit Trey. They didn't pursue, so maybe we are out of the immediate firing line. Although I do want to get to the bottom of what that was all about. After all, if my previous confidence if my previous what's the long term for com artists, it's like confidence something, if my previous confidence crew
Yeah.
have
yeah.
decided to work with in wet work these days, that is a very significant change in profession.
Do you know a cleaner?
No, in fact I don't. We kind of prided ourselves on being able to fleece the money from corporations without major bloodshed. Heavy, but even then, they didn't really carry a firearm.
I
And
probably know a cleaner.
I was just about to ask if you did.
Yeah, depending on circumstances, Ariadne, sometimes that was what you did.
Yeah.
You just hear Nevaeh goes, "My cleaning lady was the best."
Nice.
Her name was Agnes. Her name was Agnes. She made really good cookies.
Yeah, she got even the gross parts of the toilet. I loved
Shame
her.
she's
Okay.
not around to get the
Oh
grenadine
my.
out of your jumpsuit.
No,
Um,
this is fine. This is in trend now.
It's just
nice.
half of a tequila sunrise down one leg.
Oh.
Ariadne, I don't like prying, but it feels like this is the time to do so.
Yeah.
What was the job that you did before you got pinched?
There's only one person left, and they're probably the one that sold me out. So I guess there's no point in keeping it a secret anymore. But I was part of a cell of saboteurs and sometimes assassins. Okay, I guess I am the sometime assassin that would go after major corporate targets, usually just trying to destroy property, destroy transports, hit them in the wallet, sometimes hit them in the back of the head. That was my specialty, really. And we had our, one last job kind of thing that I didn't know that's what it was going to be. Literally just found out half of our people died doing that. And one of them just got his head turned into a grapefruit. So
I get that,
Ew.
and that's traumatic. But what was the job you did before you got pinched?
Oh, you mean like specifically the job?
Yeah.
I want to know who you hit before you got pinched.
Who did I hit before I got pinched? I don't think I ever decided who that was specifically.
Would you like the GM to supply an answer, or would
Yes,
you prefer to
please. No, I would, because
Okay.
I know that you can supply something that connects me and Marlo that potentially I don't know about because,
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
So you were hitting the company. The company name is the Johnson Consortium. They are a subsidiary, and this is like fairly well known.
Yeah.
They are a subsidiary of Harrison Armory. Harrison Armory. It's and like you've all been able to like see enough news like to recognize this now. They are in the process of extricating themselves from the second committee, but are at least were until fairly recently, for all intents and purposes, they were the business arm of the second committee. They supplied, and in particular, they're very well known for high quality, high firepower, high output military hardware. They're hot shit. Usually, people don't fuck with them because they're vicious. But far as you knew, uh, this this hit on Johnson should have gone well.
You you hit an HA target.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, you got proper fucked. You don't fuck with HA without having your team get fucked. But you're out, and somebody knows you're out, and HA has a reputation to uphold. They're not going to rest until there's at least 3 slugs in you.
Mm-hmm. I am well aware of that. And she's still in a headstand saying all of this.
Oh, fuck, I've got to make you disappear.
That is something we need to do, but right now, let's focus on these 2 things. One, we have a target on our back. 2, we have work. We can't let the fact that we do have a target on our back get in the way of us getting work, because we, regardless, need to get out there and survive. And the only way we can do that is get jobs and get money. That being said, we're putting ourselves at huge risk regardless. Is everyone fine with that?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find a way to make what we're doing do multiple things at once.
We'll say one thing that runs through everybody's mind is thinking about the Alexandros. They're the gang you came here to. They're the pirates you came here to hit.
Yeah.
I need people with soft skills, people skills to get close to folks. I need to know if there is anybody within the Alexandros gang that looks close enough to Ariadne.
Well, if we're dealing with gangs, I can deal with that. I can talk to them.
Good, because if we can find a nice body double, you can be dead to HA, and I can figure out how to make you a new person later.
Sacrifice of somebody else, Marlowe.
I'm just saying we're going to be in conflict with the Alexandros. In that conflict, the body double might just bite it, and we can make things nice and tidy.
All right. Outside of making Ari disappear, what can we do for at least to keep us flying with our heads down until then?
Just to kind of let everyone know, we will blend in with the crowd incredibly well. Starting tomorrow. Mm-hmm.
He actually has a point. She does. Through her very unique set of skills, she was able to make sure that we won't be sticking out as much as we do now. Apparently, what we're wearing now is now trending, according to her.
Like, check the Insta.
Yeah, if you want to hit, if you want like, if anybody actually wants to pull up Spacetagram, you do see like from a few like of the like local 69 influencers. Yeah, no, they're rocking they're rocking their prison duds. A few of them have actually perhaps is a little bit concerning. A few of them have made the connection to Tartarus, and there's like some chatter in like comment sections about that big prison break, and also about the destruction of the station. But you didn't do.
The destruction of Tartarus?
Yes.
What?
What?
Whole
Yeah.
station's gone.
We specifically threw away the mech that was going nuclear away from the
We
station.
did, and
That was
even
our
if we
goal.
hadn't, it probably couldn't have completely destroyed the entire asteroid,
Oh.
could
Absolutely,
it?
yeah. As far as your no, it didn't. Like you saw the
Like, we
explosion
saw
and
We
that.
know that the explosion would not have wrecked the station like this.
No, guys, you're focusing on the small thing. Zoom back and a bit later. Who's the fuck is this Gamble Grim Nevea? Who does he know?
Oh, like, hold on a second. And she's gonna like lift up her shirt, and you see like a little button on her side, and she's gonna press it, and the color kind of comes back to her face because she has a fake liver that processes the alcohol quicker.
Oh my.
So she could sober up faster. Uh, I he has connections and he's like super powerful. I didn't know him like that well, but what do I know about him? Like I don't.
okay.
Yeah.
So okay, you're not gonna have to roll dice for this.
Mhm.
Basically, as you understand him, he he should at least like probably should have some connection to the second committee, probably by a degree or two through Harrison. Because those are the people
What
he is.
committee?
The second committee.
The second
That is like
committee.
that is
Union
arguably
government.
at this point in galactic history the ruling body of the galaxy at large.
Yeah, they're like the government essentially, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You you can if you like again like thinking about it based on what he asked you to do, how incredibly risky and how like high scale destabilizing that would be. Like basically he went and asked you to light a system on fire for and he asked you to go in and light a system on fire for him, and promised that he could cover a lot of the incidental costs to you
Right.
of doing that thing, and he wasn't lying.
Right.
So you can intuit by like biological extension. Um, he didn't do that.
Okay.
He didn't do that.
All
He
right.
got you out,
Mhm.
but he didn't make that station go away.
All right.
That's not something he could have done, or he wouldn't have bothered asking you to light
All right.
that system up.
I got this. All right. I have to Nevaeh this up. Hold on. Okay, like he's important, like he's really important, like he's just like two steps away becoming like space president. So I don't think that like blowing up the prison, which is a for-profit organization that probably people lobby for, that's in his lobby, would actually like want that to blow up unless they were collecting insurance money, but I don't think so. Like it's not sure, like he wanted us to go light up a galaxy and some stuff, but like blowing up the prison is like not his style. It would actually kind of look a little bit bad with the connections that he has. Yeah, no, he's like two hereditary things away from like, the second committee.
He's got family on the committee. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Would it benefit a political official to blow up a jail?
no,
Might
it's
benefit
not.
a political opponent.
It's
Hmm.
it's having the bodies be buried. Yeah, there was a breakout, but you don't know precisely who got out. And with Tartarus being gone, there's no way to get a head count.
Right. And there's
We
no
might not have been
place.
the only ones breaking out.
Well,
We could have been the
you know,
initial breakout, and then there was a secondary.
We were the distraction.
Possibly that, or this explosion to wreck the prison. Maybe it was planned after. It was planned. Poor timing. That we escaped, but maybe that explosion was made to take down one of us. It was perhaps
Hmm.
that we
It's
got
so
out
much.
too early.
It's so much easier to kill one of us on the
Yeah.
inside
To
with
blow
that
up.
place existing.
I'm
You don't need to
getting
blow up
messy.
the entire
Mm.
asteroid.
That's the thing, though, Marlo. Yes, it's easy to kill you guys in jail like that. We're talking about me.
I never picked you as somebody to be so self-important, Savior.
No, I'm not a self-important person, but when I was sent to jail, I was told by the people I took the fall for I would be taken care of. I wasn't taken care of. I was left alone. No one reached out to connect to me. No one reached out for me at all from my former employers. And I took a fall and killed somebody.
Okay. I'm trying to put together a puzzle without having all the pieces. All right.
Shall we work on the smallest scale?
Yeah,
Socio-political conflict first.
yeah, because I'm not going to take a risk trying to dive the Omniweb while there's possibly HA agents or worse in the local system. I don't want to be brain fried.
I have no intention of
Me
trying
neither.
to work for Sir Gamble Grin, although
do
he
I.
did now present a very good opportunity for me to go and take everything that he owns, but maybe that's a future project. In the short term, however, we are being asked, I suppose, mercifully politely, to handle something of a gang issue. And I've been thinking about that as we've been having this conversation. It seems that the Alexandros have a very finely balanced relationship, let's say, with the other gangs on this current station. But that's a balance made in between them. It would be maybe even somewhat easy for an outside agent who knows the rules to do enough of a shake-up to get them to go and fire wayward shots at each other. And it seems an unexpected shot was just fired. The message that that shot means hasn't been set in stone yet, but if we work quickly, we can control the message. Make specific people scared.
I agree.
Yeah,
We
and
know this. Oh, go ahead.
just as much as I would normally volunteer to go shake somebody down, thinking maybe that's not a great idea right this minute. So
Not when we can have somebody shake somebody down in your place.
Mhm.
Nevaeh has actually done a very interesting thing that I would like to take quite advantage of. I'm going to explain and the brain blast that I had out of voice because it's going to be easier to kind of explain the idea that I had in my head. So bear with me.
Okay.
So Nevaeh has now established that wearing, among other things, navy blue slip-on trainers is now super popular. And we've been running around for the last 12 or so hours in those kind of duds. But if Marlowe's suggestion of finding a reasonable body double, particularly within the Alexandros, who could fall into that line of fashion, then get got, that solves two problems. That means that Alexandros now just had a member of their own crew just die, maybe ignobly. And somebody who looks a lot like Ariadne is now out of the game, wearing clothes that Ariadne was last seen in. which could make things quite nice and tidy for us if we manage to set up this Rube Goldberg machine quite carefully. It's a risky strategy, but this is an anime where risky strategies are interesting.
And also, out of
yeah.
character as a Goldberg myself, I'm always down for putting Rube Goldberg machines and everything because that just makes me feel cool.
But that is the
Yeah.
like the threads that Julian suggests. But obviously, I am super open to building on that or alternative strategies.
Xavier, like he just does like that. Actually, that is actually a good point. We have the situation is in our favor right now. I say we strike the while the iron's hot, as this term goes.
The art of con artistry is controlling the message, after all.
And you've got I'm gonna say about like a day and some change before the prisoners who left to go make contact with the gang you ostensibly will be working for are due to get back to you. So yeah, you've got some time to work with. Not that it is a relevant restriction. So if dice come up that you need more time than that to do what you're going to do, that will be a problem. But in the meantime, yeah, you did have a multi-step plan. It sounds like, what would you like to do first?
Well, we need to find someone that we could replace Ari with. That's the first step. 2, make sure this person is in line with whatever hit that they want us to take on this gang. Then after that, then it just comes after that is a matter of disposing of the body in the proper way, while also drawing attention to the fact that our dear friend Ari is dead.
I will cry about it.
You are looking for a member of the Alexandros resembling Ariadne, whom you can murder. So I'll say, first up, finding that person. That will be a roll. I will say that it's going to be difficult because you're looking for a very particular combination of traits. It might maybe you just won't be able to find precisely that person.
To talk mechanics out of character.
Yes.
Julian has investigated +2. So this is that kind of finding a person is kind of within her wheelhouse somewhat. However, there is because the sniper shot atop a building that Ariadne and I have seen, I kind of want somebody to look into that and what gang maybe controls that building, because if it's not Alexandros, we can tell a very fun lie to get people at each other's throats. So I'm happy to go and take the dice roll to investigate that. But if somebody, if you would rather me mechanically want to do this one because numbers, I'm happy to do that.
I can do the one for looking for a body double for it because I have a bunch of moves that are perfect for this.
Hell yeah, go for it.
Okay, one thing I will say is there is enough going on at at the end of the time, if you want to go investigate that, there will be rolls, but what you won't have to roll for is because you actually did get a good look at where they were shooting from, and based on the behavior again, they knew where that shooter was. That was their body language was they were not at all comfortable with what went down, but as far as they were concerned, things were under control. Didn't act outside of their rules. They weren't violated. They were just very unhappy.
There was no panicking going on. Oh, we don't know that this was going to happen, or I mean, maybe they didn't know that it was going to happen, but whatever actually did happen, it was not just wholesale chaos because of it.
Yeah, the people who were freaking out were the deeply uninvolved actual
actual bystanders that are oh my god, someone got shot. Oh yeah. Okay.
I look over at Marlo. Marlo,
Mm-hmm.
can you go with Julian to make sure this whole situation, finding out who owns that building? Unless you have something you want to do here.
I can go. If we're being watched.
Well,
I'm not supposed. Well, here's the thing: if we're being watched, my face was essentially scrubbed, with the exception of certain individuals and 2 companies. I don't exist. I never existed because of what I did. But if somebody recognizes me all the way out here, things are going to escalate very fast.
oh, that would be a fun coincidence.
I'll just make this day 10 times better. All right.
And if you're concerned about me being easily recognized since I'm Julian Tablinat is not scrubbed from the records, Julian activates her prosocolor and then has your face.
Yeah, that's really nifty. We need to get more of those. But that's betaware. We're not going to be able to get that easily.
Working in the long term, that might be a goal once we have some cash, but at least for the short term, it would mean that we'll be able to get in and out of our reconnaissance mission without being as easily noticed.
I'll go with Julian. You're right, Savior. But just quick question, Ariadne, how attached are you to your face? Okay, we have options. We'll go shopping later.
Still got a good eye. I'll make it work.
Oh, no, I'm just talking. We'll talk later and go shopping. And
I'm gonna live
Gulp.
for that.
with just the flat cap, again, you can actually see the multiple ports going along his skull and down into his neck. As again, he's only 20% organic.
Yep.
Julian and Marlo, I do believe you are going to investigate
the building.
And by the way, like as you on your way in, basically taking the pass, you pass by what is more or less. It's not a crime scene as you might be used to seeing them in more civilized systems. Like there's not police tape. There's a few gang members kind of standing around making sure people aren't milling about. You see some people inside his former apartment picking through stuff. He doesn't. It seems like what they are actually doing is investigating, at least if unprofessionally so. They're not pocketing things. They're moving stuff in order. See how people looking out. You notice you also notice you're being watched. But they're not moving to stop you or anything. Nobody's going hey, what you been none of that. They're just a few just a few people are just you're not happy.
Yeah. So, Pope, are you down for improving this shit? Are you down for some shenanigans? Okay,
we can do this.
I trust. Assuming that this is kind of like a local citizenry working together investigative kind of deal. Julian comes up. Really
mostly
worried.
Alexandros.
Interesting. Okay. Do we know names of other gangs that are on this rock?
You're pretty sure that the Red Fins, those being the people you're here to work for.
Yes.
It stands to logical reason that they must still have some presence here. and you've seen like a few people like wearing their colors and jackets like here and there. But
Is there a
like
third party, or is it just these two gangs? So you mentioned previously that
there
Alexandros was kind of working an
there
uneasy
are other gangs.
balance.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm,
there are other gangs here. Yes, this is Alexandros territory.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
If you want to do something, if you want to do something with another gang, tell me what you want to do and uh, source me a gang name.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. So it's kind of like I'll let Pope pick the gang name, but the play is like, oh man, we were both going to join insert gang name here together, and we worked so hard, and he just died, killed on the street from some assassin, and and it's kind of like, who's responsible? We were going to go the distance to get like proper. Trying to sow the seed of this being a gang hit deal, but that needs plausible gang names to work. So
Gang name because I like Easter eggs of other things. We're going to go with the Night Lords, considering he was in the dark the entire time.
the Night Lord's cool. So
Cool.
it's like, I, we were going to enter the Night Lords together. We'd always aspired to work for such a bold startup gang, and he's just been gunned in the street. Who did this? I need to know who's responsible.
You see like a few people like frowning, like start frowning, and like a few like heads like motion. See like one of them like and like carrying like visibly armed, but like carrying a pistol as opposed to like shotguns, rifles, and in one very confusing case, like there's a guy with an RPG standing around. You're not really sure what he's doing. Nobody seems to be like standing too close to her. Like maybe she's on some kind of maybe she's doing some kind of aesthetic thing. Uh, but and like yeah, like pistol guy's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like this is our fucking turf. That and like Trey wasn't a goddamn fake. Trey knew what he was on. Like Trey knew who he was with. He paid his taxes. Paid his taxes good and proper.
Yeah, he paid his taxes, but he was a Night Lord.
The fuck he was. Who the fuck are you saying that shit?
We don't get the choice to raise where we live.
I am
this
going
is the only rent you
to.
could afford. So go ahead.
I'm going to produce the LAC as yay for this being the far future. I'm saying this is because there's nanites. This just forms in the hand and then becomes solid. He was a Night Lord because the Night Lords have the better tech. All right. Now, he paid his taxes. He was a good citizen. He knew where he was living. He wanted to stay with you guys because you were supposed to have the best security, not necessarily the best tech. And you let this shit happen on your own fucking turf.
And like you see him like get like a like this like where the dice roll back as he kind of like reels back a little bit, like like part like like a little bit like a little bit offended, a little bit like lots of emotions all going on at once. And then basically, yeah, like this is the role. Like to be clear, like I think you're trying to convince him to like get you to let you go over and look at that, like check it all out yourself, prove all your bullshit wrong, as opposed to telling you to get the fuck out. How dare you? Like, right. So yeah, that's gonna be the role. I'm gonna say that you've definitely like disturbed his like emotional state enough, that like he is not going to just go, wait a minute, we are the fucking authorities here. Fuck off, get out. That is not, you're not gonna get like the difficulty level of that thought coming to his mind. So yeah, just straight roll. Background as appropriate, skill triggers as appropriate.
This might be a solid crit spend here if you want to vamp Marlowe while I plant evidence on this dead man's body.
I will spend one of those crits in this moment because my background's not social. So we will just go with the crit spend with the hi, I did some tech wizardry in front of you and I'm calling you essentially weak.
Okay, so like yeah, you kind of like leans in like a little bit, like very much like the personal space invasion to prove a rhetorical point thing. Like I knew him. He was he was like fucking 6 weeks away from like marrying my goddamn little sister. Okay, knew right. It was good. It was fucking spooked. I don't know what the fuck he was running from. They fucked him up bad. Scared him bad. Like whenever he ever got him drunk enough to talk about anything, all he was talking about was body. Oh, I'm gonna hear you fucking slander. Not one.
I'm not
So-
fucking
what?
slandering his name, but somebody used an AP round on your fucking station.
You know what? In in respect of his memory, go check it out. Check that shit out yourself. So you gotta look. You look the other way. You weren't ever here.
If I may, while Marlowe has their attention and is kind of like sowing the seed of he was actually a Night Lord, can Julian kind of go over to the scene and plant like an evidence that he would be a Night Lord, like a monogrammed inside his lined coat or something?
Yeah, sure. I'll say
of...
like part of that crit is that like as like you've actually attracted like enough attention like as the guy they kind of sent to deal with as the guy they kind of sent like to go like deal with these weirdos is like clearly like getting like really like stressed out like if that's what kind of problem you need to deal with like everybody's kind of focused over there and like you can absolutely just go over here move some, like put some stuff here move stuff there kind of come back to it and like nobody's really going to think twice.
If you don't think he's a Night Lord, then look at his jacket. And on the inside of the lining, you wouldn't know because you haven't been into his home. You just assumed. And like you can see scrawled in kind of like in I for some reason imagine kind of like that like doom metal kind of like spidery font, an NL on the in the lining of his jacket. And it's like, see, who's a Night Lord through and through. These colors don't run. Night Lords. And
yeah. And like you see like a couple of like people like distant in the crowd like kind of like nodding and like you realize that like you have perhaps like incidentally gotten the Night Lords like completely correct. This is how Night Lords proclaim their rep. That's what they do. And like that was authentic. And like like somebody who's like kind of like standing nearby didn't quite notice you like going and plant that like goes in and checks and goes in like checks like looks away and like kind of the guy who was like still like kind of like mad at Marlo like looking over like the fuck there's no way and like they just kind of like nod a little bit. Go.
I see.
The baton disappears.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the baton disappears after the salute and the barking. Tip of cap just locks eyes with Julian, and there's a smirk as Marlo starts walking across the street to the other building.
Yeah. It's like a parting shot. Julian is kind of like, you shot one of our men. That sits heavy on your chest. May that sit heavy on your chest. And Julian kind of like walks away and catches up with Marlowe and kind of like whispers in his ears, they best not check how quickly their permanent marker I scrawled inside his jacket is going to dry. She like slips a Sharpie up her sleeve and kind of claps you firmly on the back. Maybe a little physically hard for you, but it's like
you hit there. You feel like that's not skin.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
It's like smacking a fridge.
Mm-hmm. Not to shift your diodes out of place or anything, but yeah, that went well.
Yeah. Well, let's see if our shooter was messy or did they actually police their brass.
So yeah, speaking of the shooting site, you arrive there to it is on a rooftop. You see, like, first of all, you don't see like signs of like habitation. Like it's not like they were like it's not like that they were like it's not that there was like a person like lounging up here waiting to take this shot, as it were. Like they weren't like you haven't done like the kind of investigation to know like whether like maybe they live somewhere else and like only came up here when like they heard fucking sound in the bug or what have you. But like this is not like their spot. This is absolutely just where they shot from.
Mm.
But yeah, speaking of yeah, investigation, you've got to do a little bit of a little bit of what forensics you can manage, see what you can figure out beyond big rifle AP rounds.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, there's probably some way that we can team up. I'm happy to go and make an investigate roll on this. I kind of want to do this relatively quickly because I kind of want to see how Team B is doing before we wrap for the sesh. But
Agreed. I think I'll assist you. Like
Mhm.
my background as a hacker and military, I can
Hmm.
definitely have like the background to go, okay, so I can narrow down like the likelihood of if there's a round found, what gun is it? As well as okay, know where that angle is. That's simple math.
Mhm,
So I'll essentially I'm going to use my stuff to give you accuracy.
mhm.
So
We know exactly what bits to check because you've checked the angle, checked the security camera records. You got all that insider knowledge. Sick. Thank you. I appreciate it. So I'm rolling the 1d20 plus 2 for my investigate skill. Do I want to add anything else in here? Reading a situation is possibly appropriate here, and if there's any kind of human forensics that we can go look at.
Not in this case, since
Okay.
and like I will say like one thing, it doesn't take any dice in it. Like, whoever your hypothetical shooter, long gone. Like wherever they are or went, it ain't here and they didn't stick around.
Sure thing. But anything that we can kind of use as a piece of evidence to start sowing the seeds is also useful. Okay, so we're rolling 1d20 plus 2 plus my 1d6 assist.
Don't forget that grit.
Oh, plus the grit. So it's like 12. It's still over 10, so I didn't fail.
It is over 10. You do succeed, and I'll say like what you succeed in noticing, particularly like kind of like due to Marlowe's relevant subject matter experience, a very particular, something like almost like a micro crater on like the ground. From what you realize is the uh, proprietary self-destroying casing of a Smith Shimano Corporum. Right. And like yeah, like as comes to your head, Smith Shimano Corporo is they are one of the biggest hyper corporations in the galaxy. Like towers unto themselves. Uh, that but like you have like a few guesses as to what model of rifle probably did this. It is it's it's expensive. Like it's the kind of rifle like not only expensive to acquire, but so expensive and like so expensive to maintain that like basically speaking, if you weren't being directly or indirectly like funded by SSC or a subsidiary, you'd be lucky to be able to afford to fire it once ever.
this is a Bentley of rifles.
Yes.
Gosh. I think that gives Julian some pause because up to this point, it has been the suggestion that this is just petty gang warfare shit. And this clearly, with the expensiveness of just that one shot, well, it was two shots that gun fired, one to break the wall and one to shoot the mark. So somebody who
Well,
has
there were actually a couple of more that tried to get you, did not succeed, but there was an attempt.
a number of
I
shots
think
were
somebody
fired from
wasted-
this incredibly expensive gun. Every additional shot casing that we find makes it increasingly kind of like, whoa, they could afford that much. So yeah, that's useful info. Hell yeah.
I'm already I already have the rifle in my head. 8-round clip, floating bolt. This thing is pricey and sounds like death when it fires. Okay. So yeah, no, like somebody working directly for HA might be able to afford this, but since it's cross proprietary, unlikely.
I'll give you another one. The idle thought comes to your mind that if your shooter was working for HA, like unless there was some kind of intercompany like partnership going on, like that they were actively cooperating on this, there's no way in hell SS Smith would let them have that gun.
Okay. That throws a lot of my theory out the window unless we're in an absolutely nightmare scenario. But there is good news. Somebody walking around with something that high end, it's gonna get noticed.
Yeah. For the time being, though, I suggest that we maybe pick up what casings that we can currently find. For the story that we want to tell, if we want to make this a petty gang warfare, we don't want to suggest that it was done with a gun that no one involved could afford. So let's just sweep up this tiny bit of evidence, shall we?
Yeah, no, this is bad. This is and the paranoia starts to creep into Marlowe as he this is SSC. These are the kings, queens, empresses, and emperors of stealth tech. Is just quickly sweeping the area looking for any thing out of the ordinary, any heat wave disturbance, anything.
You have like your kind of like capital C concerned look about, and like after like a few like weeps, you realize that no, there genuinely is like nobody here, and nobody here in stealth like lining up a beat on it. No, whoever that like who or whatever they were, they really are not here anymore.
We do have a casing that belongs to them, and that is still something.
Yeah, it just looks at Julian. We need to get back to the ship quick.
That's fine. I think we've gathered all the evidence we have to do here. Oh, this is going to be an interesting story we're going to tell.
Oh, I think you mentioned wanting to like plant some evidence here of it being something else. So
I mean, less that than if we take the super expensive casings. If somebody else is trying to play our game and goes here to look, they don't have the evidence that a super expensive gun was used.
I might have been a bit unclear. It was like you saw the residue left behind by a very particular self-destroying casing. Like the casing, it's not here anymore.
Yeah,
but there is an indent in the ground that is only made exactly one way.
Right. Yeah, in that case, Julian instead takes photographs of these kind of like evidences of this type of casing, and then actively destroys the scenery to kind of hide that it was that kind of evidence taking place.
Yeah, sure. That thing do happen. You do it.
Cool.
Yeah, I think we're just now rushing back to the ship.
Okay. Speaking of other group, which did have another plan, I think you were looking for a useful Alexandros pet. First up, that is going to be a roll. You are going to have it is going to be difficult because it is somewhat unlikely that that particular combination of traits is here and accessible for you.
Oh no, I'm using a crit. I know this is not even a question. I'm using my crit. I don't even know why you're explaining if I'm going to make a roll. No, I'm using a crit. It's like the fuck. You just said you open it up and say this is going to be difficult. I have crits.
How dare? How dare? Yeah,
First of all, how
This is why
dare you
people
assume
practice
I was going to roll?
Yeah. So anyway, you after like it takes some work, and by some work I mean you get out, you look around, you decide like, somebody looking like her, I feel like she might go to this kind of bar. You walk in, and there she is, like she's like this kind of, like in Alexandro's colors. She's got a shotgun, like kind of like resting against the bar, like probably like between patrols, between shifts. Maybe she's come back from like a salvage run or something. Not sure what, but like she's like nursing a drink, kind of just like relaxed. Doesn't like seems to be alone, not talking to anybody. Just kind of
I look
relaxed, chilled out.
I look at her, then I look. Wait, first of all, is Nevaeh with me?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. I look over
yeah.
at Nevaeh,
Okay.
and I look over. I could do this myself, but I think in this type of situation, you could get more out of her than I can.
Okay.
Just need to know her name, any kind of basic information about her.
Okay. So like her name, maybe like her shoe size.
No, not a shoe size, probably
Okay,
just basic information.
Right. All right.
That we could probably use to keep an eye on her in case we need to. Well, there's no in case we are going to.
Right. Nevaeh has to kind of almost center herself, because this is like the first time that it's really kind of hitting her. It's like, I'm about to talk to this woman so that I can have her murdered. Like, that's like a process that she has to go through mentally, but
would Xavier notice this? Would Xavier notice this?
Like, there's a subtle like breath. Okay, this is for Ari.
I put my hand on like Nevaeh's shoulders. Like as I'm standing behind her, just put my hand on her shoulders. I understand right now. This might be something new, a new situation for you. I can understand why you could be nervous, but right now, you are probably the best person to handle this situation. So I believe in your skills that you can do this. And he gives her like a light shove towards.
Okay, all right. Okay. And I'm gonna go and just like very purposely like sit next to her, the stool like right next to her, and like nonchalantly orders a drink for myself. And then I'm just gonna kind of go, oh, what are you drinking?
And I think at that point, that's when Xavier like sits down nearby, but not like incredibly close, just enough that he could hear this conversation.
Sure. Yeah, let's say there's not like too many people at the bar, and plus like she's clearly like very like relaxed. She's like once she like noticed Nevaeh like kind of like in like I want to talk to you like range, like she kind of just shifted to focus on her. Doesn't even notice you sit down. Yeah, well, fashion. I mean, listen, if this is like a sex thing, I'm
absolutely, because depending on what you're drinking, I want to know what you're gonna taste like when I make out with you.
Well, that's
Xavier just like this as he orders like I need another one of what I just ordered.
I am like so sorry to interrupt you. I am so sorry. Like I have a thing for ladies in this aesthetic with a big gun. So I just really couldn't help myself. My name is Nancy. How are you?
I mean, I'm Daniela. I just it's yeah, you had been here like yesterday. It's just right now I'm fucking beat. Like if you know if you want I can like give you like my number maybe we could like once I get some sleep if you like down. It's just I just
Yeah,
got
can
back
I?
from
You know what? That actually sounds really great. I'm in town for a little while. Could I get your name and I'm gonna get the number and like, what if I can get like, because I mean, look at me. What if I could get? I want to treat you out to something fancy, like really, really, really nice. So if I was to send a car over, are there cars in this station? I have no idea.
yeah like yeah
Yeah.
there are some it's not
Hmm.
it is like were you to actually like try and like buy one, it would be remarkably difficult because there aren't
Hmm.
that many new ones coming in, and as far as like parts to
Perfectly
fix,
fine.
those could be hard to come by. So like
I'm gonna send my daddy's
there,
car over to come and get you, okay? And when I mean daddy, I don't mean my father. Um, so what was your name,
Like when you
number?
say that, Xavier he just like looks up and just like glances over at the van and like, what are you?
um, so because you look like you've just had like a really hard one, and I like treating girls right. So name, number, and whatever your drink cost was.
yeah 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 sure yeah. And see like seems like kind of like she seemed like she kind of like did not expect things like to go even this well, like and especially like yeah it's yeah Daniela and like writes her like contact info down and it's in push. Oh, it's in push chat if you want, if that's the thing that matters to you. Uh,
Yeah.
like yeah, get your contact info down. It's like kind of like musters up the energy like to smile at you, and it's a nice smile. It seems like genuinely happy that like this thing happened to her today. It's good. Like, yeah yeah. See you soon. Yeah.
Yeah, I will. I'll probably like give me like 2 days because we're gonna wait till the chic thing kicks in real hard. I just need to make reservations, but I will give you a call. Okay, bye. And I just
I,
kind, yeah.
I walk over to Nevaeh and I like put my hand on her shoulder and I lean and like, ma'am, the car is here.
Oh, sorry about that. I have to get going. My bodyguard told me to. I'll see you later, and I'm gonna walk out with him.
And okay, as soon as we walk outside, uh, Xavier looks over. He's like, "Daddy."
Yeah, like the that's what people. We need to go get hair dye for Ari. Okay.
Oh boy. He walks up there and he's like, "You know what, Nevaeh? I
Hmm.
have to say,
Hmm.
I was very impressed by that.
I know. Thank you. You found
Just
her
take the
though.
compliment." I was
Hmm.
like, "Just take the compliment,
I said
Nevaeh."
thank you. uh, 2 seconds. I think my husband is trying to smooch me goodbye for work. Like,
So, so yeah, everybody, like yeah, and what I think what it looks like going to be like our last 5 minutes here. You've got like you kind of all get together like reconnoiter after like your various exploits back at the ship. Like one thing you kind of notice like on the way in, you might remember your good Captain Irons. Kind of like he seems to like you see him like working on something like doing some like maintenance work, and then like very weird like you hear like kind of like a high pitched chime like high enough that you hear it like more in your head than through your ears. And you hear that you hear that he stops like looks up and like immediately like turns like on his heel like walks across and like opens up another panel and starts working on something and like it's you wonder if like it wasn't just like weird timing, or if like he didn't like just know, because like it's it was enough like it was like enough like he completely dropped what he was doing before to do this, and like that's not it's not like that's not like anybody's best practices, even if you're kind of sloppy about best practice. That's a weird thing to do unless it's like something you need to do. That just but like that just happens. And like yeah, anyway, everybody is back together.
All right, we have a name, we have a face. Nevaeh. You look so for Nevaeh.
Uh, yeah, her name is Daniela, and I hold up my cocktail napkin. And she's expecting a ride in a couple of days to a very fancy date with me.
We didn't manage to go and pick up a booty call, but we did manage to sow the seeds of maybe incoming gang warfare. Night Lords.
Also, Ari, I hope that you don't mind being a blonde, and I'm gonna hold up my bleach kit.
How long do I have to do it for?
It should lift, like, with your current color, it should lift in, like, 30 minutes, and, like, once this is done... Oh, you mean, like, how long do you have to be blonde for? Not very long, just until we get all this settled.
Great.
You only have to do it until we go shopping.
True. You just need a wig to cover up your natural hair then.
I was thinking of replacing the natural hair with artificial, but that's fine.
Doesn't that take a long time? Would it just be
surprised how quickly body swapping can happen?
This will take 30 minutes.
I think, Marlo, I think maybe we'll go with the hair dye this time around. But let's keep that idea.
Okay.
Ari's just like flipping between 30 minutes of hair dye, going shopping, which they hate, and you could just replace it with artificial hair, which sounds horrifying. And it's just like,
you can change it to whatever color you want.
Could I just like shave it? Would that work?
That would, like, we're in space, and, like, solar radiation is just, like, really bad for your scalp.
It is.
Okay,
it is
fine.
very bad for your scalp. It is.
I don't recommend. I've done it once before.
Can't
I had a
believe
breakdown.
have hats.
Saying this, but I trust your fashion decisions, Nevaeh, because for some reason people seem to like the trends that you make up.
As I said, she's very good at what she does. What that thing is, I don't know, but she's very good at it.
I don't get it, but I respect it, but I just don't get it.
And just Marlo just leans into Ariadne for a quick second. So, you ever hit SSC?
Mechmaster, have I?
Never.
Uh-uh.
Like you like it actually kind of bothers you for a second. It's like you search through your memory. Absolutely never.
No, never had a job for that.
Great. And he goes and lays down on the couch.
Right.
The plan is in place.
Yeah, man. It's
So yeah, with a lot of balls of in the air, you receive like a little ping on your communication from your erstwhile contacts. But yeah, they think they might have something figured out, and they'll be getting in touch in a few hours. And with that, and as we like fade away, we see like a few night lords like looking at the scene of like the comrade they never knew. We fade away. That was the Shades of Tartarus, Night Lords Forever.
Forever.
Let's
Night
Take
Lords!
it,
My
take it
lord.
away.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming and showing up. Every single episode that I play, and the more that the dynamic of this crew works, the more I'm just absolutely falling in love with this game. Um, so we are almost done with our week, as we have the last show of the week will be tomorrow, as we will continue with our Dragon Age campaign. And then you won't see anyone on the channel until Thursday evening with The Expanse, because as you might have read, I am having a birth control procedure done on Tuesday, and I needed to pick it up. So I will just be indisposed until Thursday evening to write anything. But otherwise, it's same schedule. You can see us here again Friday. Can't wait for y'all to come back. That's us. That's me. Going in the opposite direction in which we came from. Where can we find you on the internet in the next week? What you doing?
All right. Hey, everybody. Pope here. Pope World Bill on Twitter. Pope World Bill on Twitch. I looked at all your streams. First, this group is absolutely amazing. I am loving this. I am loving where everything is going. I can't wait till the disaster that will be next week. And then somewhat unusual, I would like to give out a quick plug for two things that I'm not a part of, but I'm greatly a fan of. You have a lot of options on really good viewing this evening. First, over on Trooper SJP, also known as Academic Foxhole, tonight's City of Light and Shadow Season 3 premiere. If you like some period RP, I don't think you can find better. So if you're interested in World War II era France and some resistance, check it out. Now, if you are a Monster of the Week fan and are a fan of game design, you might want to check out Colonomicon's channel around that same time as our friends Colin and Lydia, also known as Half-Ass Hermit, sit down with the creator of Monster of the Week for the GM postmortem. As for more of my silly face, you get a number of opportunities throughout the week. This Sunday over on Matt 7's channel, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, we get back down with Neon in Masked Sunset City. Consequences and horrors are happening. I've been screaming all week, whether internally, externally, metaphysically, just screaming.
Dude, we split the party. And it's our fault.
Always split the party, never split the party. And then on Wednesday, it's the double feature. First over on Follow Black Cats, you get to see somebody worse than Marlowe as I play Sherlock in the spy game Hexcrawl. And then I get to be absolutely awful over on Penny for a Tale at 8:30 p.m. Eastern as we continue our tales in Brotherhood of Shadows, Song of Ice and Fire story. That's it from me. Thank you all so much. Thank you all for being here, whether you're watching live, VOD, YouTube. You're as much part of this as we are, because what is a story without an audience? Thank you all so much. Take care.
Sup, y'all? It's your boy, Wally. You can follow me on the Twitter at Wally132, WALLE132, much like the cute little Disney robot. Wow, let's see. What do I have coming up for me? Sunday, as Pope said, I will be playing along with him some Sunset City. Oh, boy. We are in it. We are definitely in it. That's the best way to describe it. We are in it, and who knows what will come from that. Monday, oh, boy. I am looking forward to Monday because Monday I get to play some A-State with a certain person here at the table. My good pal Anna, gonna play with them, play some A-State. I get to play Penn, your favorite teenage cat burglar. And then Tuesday, I got nothing Tuesday. Wednesday, I don't know if we can talk about it yet. I don't know. Oh yeah, we can talk about it. Okay,
we
cool.
can.
Yay, we can talk about it. So Wednesday, we have our session 0 Wednesday of it, but over at Penny for a Tale, myself, along with Anna, we will be playing Black Void, and we are so excited for this game. Like, It's gonna be
It's
so much fun.
gonna be so good. If you want to see us do more space shenanigans.
Not just space shenanigans, but space shenanigans played by a bunch of people who may be monster fuckers. I don't know, but yeah.
Okay,
That is.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Space monster fuckers over on Weave the Tail. Not paying for the tail.
Yes, Weave the Tail. Yes, that's what we'll be doing. Speaking space monster fuckers, that's gonna be just grand. It's gonna be. Trust me, it's gonna be a great show. I'm really excited for it. Then Friday, I am back here for some Lancer action, and then starting next week, I will be playing some Starfinder also on Fridays. Friday evenings, playing some Starfinder. It's going to be playing an all-bear game of Starfinder, and it's called Ursa Majors, and we're very excited for it. Tomorrow is our session 0. I cannot wait to be playing this. And then I am back here. Wait, no, I already did the full week. Yes, that's it. No, that's it. That's all I got. Wow. I lost track of my entire week because I have that much stuff I'm doing. Oh, and one more thing. I'm gonna plug myself one more time. If you want to play tabletop role-play games with me, and you want to sit down at a table with me as I GM you through a fun Magpie game by me, a great DM, I guess. You can go over to Magpie's creative play program. You can find me along with many other great DMs that you can buy tickets to play games with them. They will run games for you. You can either submit yourself or gather a crew of people. They all got to buy their own ticket, but you can gather a crew of people and we will run a game for you. It is so much fun. It is that great. Play games with us.
Yay! Speaking of playing games with us, since Wally and I are like practically in every single thing that we do online together, I'll just say the things in addition to that I'm doing. Hi, I'm Anna. I'm at Nymeria941 pretty much everywhere on the internet, so you can find me there. I do have a sort of like special, this is the last day to get in on the action announcement, which is that I am going to be GMing a game of Zweihander for an upcoming Jasper's Game Day event in early March. They raise money for teen suicide prevention and to help like teens get mental health resources that they need. And there are currently 2 seats that are being auctioned for my game table. So if you would like to play Zweihander with me and raise money for a good cause, we welcome beginners, we welcome experienced players, basically anything at all. That's actually in my pinned tweet if you want to find where the eBay auction is happening. Today's my double header day, so after this you can find me on Critical Misses at 8 p.m. Eastern time. I will also be playing Zweihander, a game called Beyond the Twilight Road, which is our dark fantasy fae bullshit campaign, is the elevator pitch for it. I play Agnieszka, a Grendel bard with horns and a third eye. And yeah, because apparently taking shots of goblin blood will do that to you. You just get an extra eye sometimes when you party really hard in this game. But tonight is special because I have actually written an original song for this campaign, and it's going to be in the episode tonight. So if you're interested in that, come check it out. Like Wally said, we played together in Estate on Colonomicon's channel on Monday. I cannot wait to be back into that. That's my favorite character, Jane, my knife fighting badass lady that I've ever played. Same thing with Black Void. I'm also playing a person with a sword, but this time she's a mom with a sword. And that's on Weave the Tale. Also on Weave the Tale coming up in February when the season begins, I'm GMing a game of Parslings. Which is a game about people that have sentient word parasites living inside of their heads, and they have the ability to shape the world around them through the power of words, which is kind of what I am all about. So I think that's everything that I've got going on. If it's not, just like holler at me on the internet and we can talk about it, and it'll be great.
Ooh, I do believe it is now I have arrived. Hello, hello, hello. I have been your vision in violet, Nathan Blades. Thank you so much for tuning into the stream. You can find me on my Twitch channel at The Neon Caster. I've been talking in chat this entire time. We're actually going to be on air tomorrow at 7 p.m. GMT, which is 2 p.m. EST, playing Scott Pilgrim versus the World of the game. We tried to do so the other week, and then connection issues said nope. So we're going to be trying that again. Looking forward to it. It's a good time, good time. Next week, I have taken to doing guerrilla drawing streams as of late. I spent a decent chunk of this week drawing my character in this game, Julian and her mech jackpot, and I might be doing something similar next week. So, be sure to follow me on Twitter and see when I'm streaming. And then that Saturday after the next session of Lancer will be the final session of Arcana Core, culminating an 8-part series of a Persona-inspired campaign run in City of Mist. It'll be very exciting, and I do so hope you'll tune in. And that is me for this evening.
Well, and finally, all the way back around to me, Obadiah. I have been your mech master today, and once we get back off break next week, the week after that, you can come find me on this twitch.tv/Valdriant for Revenge of the Gith. Wonderful D&D 5e game. And of course, you can also find me on Twitter at Johnson Dyson, and if I can finally find some time for it, you just might find me on twitch.tv/Shinobi playing some action games. That was me. This is us. Thank you so much for hanging out.
Alright. Everybody give a wave as we go and raid my good friend Calloway Berry. I've known them on Twitch for a long time. Good friend of mine. So they're playing Stardew Valley. So bye everyone. We're leaving you.
Janet.
Janet. Wow, I haven't used that since I was a weeb.